Hi there, and welcome back to Paws and Positivity. I'm Jamie Watkinson-Harvey, your certified dog trainer and host of this podcast. Today, we're talking about a time of year that's full of excitement, costumes, and sweet treats. But for our dogs, it can be a little bit of a nightmare. So yes, we're talking about Halloween. Now, I absolutely love Halloween. It's one of those nights that brings out creativity, community, and a bit of good old-fashioned silliness. But when you've got a dog in your life, there are a few things that can make it less treat and a lot more trick. So let's talk about keeping your pup safe, calm, and happy while the ghouls and ghosts roam the streets. So let's start by stepping into your dog's paws for a moment. Imagine your familiar safe home suddenly is filled with flickering lights, strange moving decorations, and spooky noises. That giant spider on the wall might look hilarious to us, but to your dog, it's an enormous looming monster that's appeared overnight in their territory. Dogs don't understand that it's all pretend. Their brains are wired to notice change. And when the environment suddenly looks and sounds different, that can be unsettling. You might see signs like your dog pacing, panting, barking at decorations, or even refusing to go into certain rooms. If you've ever wondered why your dog suddenly barks at the inflatable skeleton in your neighbour's garden, well, that's perfectly normal. To them, it's new, strange, and maybe even a bit alive. If you notice your pup getting anxious, take a step back and reassure them. Let them approach decorations in their own time, with plenty of praise and maybe a few tasty treats for bravery. And if they'd rather not go near something, that's fine too. Don't force it. Next, let's talk about the decorations themselves. Now, I know they look fantastic, especially those stretchy cobwebs draped around the garden or over the fireplace. But those webs can be dangerous if your dog gets curious. Dogs explore the world with their noses and mouths. So if your pup decides to chew or tug at those webs, or the little plastic spiders that come with them, it can lead to choking, intestinal blockages, or worse. The same goes for things such as fake eyeballs, glow sticks, and dangling electrical cords. So my advice is simple. Keep decorations out of reach. Anything stringy, shiny, or chewable should be well away from your dog's curious snout. And if you've got a pup who's particularly adventurous, maybe skip the cobwebs altogether and go for some LED candles or paper lanterns instead. Now, let's talk about walks. Halloween night might seem like the perfect night to show off your dog's cute pumpkin costume, but trust me, it might be one fright too far. The combination of excited children, flashing lights, and rustling costumes can overwhelm even the calmest dogs. Add to that the constant knocking at doors, the sound of fireworks, and the scent of all that sugary food in the air. It's a sensory overload. If your dog is sound sensitive or easily startled, it's best to walk them earlier in the day before the festivities begin. Stick to familiar routes. And if you do head out when things are busier, keep it short, positive, and calm. Bring along some high-value treats, and please give your pup plenty of reassurance. And if you do in the evening have to open your door to trick-or-treaters, think about how your dog fits into that picture. A barking dog can be stressful for both them and the children at the door. You might want to set up a quiet, comfy space away from the front door with a favourite chew, a stuffed Kong, or some calming background noise. And being Halloween, I can't not mention costumes. I know dog costumes are adorable. A little witch hat or a pumpkin jumper, it's all part of the fun. But please make sure your dog is genuinely comfortable wearing it. Avoid anything that restricts movement, covers their eyes, or interferes with their ability to pant or hear properly. If your dog looks stiff, licks their lips, or freezes when the costume goes on, that's a clear sign that they're not enjoying it. Sometimes a themed collar or a cute bandana is more than enough to join the spooky spirit safely. And now for one of the biggest Halloween hazards, treats. And I don't mean the kind that your dog earns in training. Halloween is basically the national holiday of sweets, or candy if you're listening from across the pond. Now, unfortunately, many of those treats are toxic to dogs. Chocolate contains theobromine, which dogs can't metabolize properly, and even a small amount can cause vomiting, diarrhea, or far worse. Then there's xylitol, also known as birch sugar, an artificial sweetener found in sugar-free sweets and gums. It's incredibly dangerous for dogs, and even a tiny amount can lead to a sudden drop in blood sugar, seizures, or even liver failure. So it's best to keep all human treats well out of reach. Remind children to store their loot safely, and never leave an open sweet bowl where curious noses can reach it. If your dog does manage to sneak something, don't wait. Call your vet straight away. It's always better to act quickly. So, how can we make Halloween a little easier for our dogs? Well, firstly, routine helps. Stick to your normal feeding and walk times where you can. That predictability is grounding for them. Next, create a calm environment. Close curtains to block flashing lights. Play some soothing music, and keep your dog company if they're anxious. If you use calming aids like adaptable diffusers or lick mats made with something tasty, that can also really help them settle. And finally, remember that your dog doesn't need to be part of every activity. Sometimes the kindest thing you can do is let them sit this one out, away from the noise and the chaos, with something comforting to do. Halloween can be such a fun time for us humans, but for our dogs, it's often confusing, noisy, and full of hidden dangers. A few simple steps, like keeping decorations out of reach, avoiding late night walks, and keeping those sweets well away, can make all the difference. Most importantly, be your dog's safe space. When the world around them feels strange, your calm, reassuring presence is the thing that tells them everything's okay. And that's it for today's episode of Paws and Pawsitivity. And I hope you're feeling ready to make this Halloween a little less spooky for your furry friend. Remember, it's all about understanding their world, keeping them safe, and helping them feel secure. Because happy dogs learn best when they feel safe and loved. And thank you so much for joining me today. If you found this episode helpful, please give the podcast a positive rating, share it with a friend, and subscribe so you don't miss out on future episodes. It's only through your support that helps us reach more dog lovers and keeps the positive message going. Until next time, take care and give your pup a big hug from me. Woofity woof.